Whatever path she chose, dawn would break upon a world forever altered. Melanie's pulse quickened as the Guardian's hollow eyes fixed upon her. The ancient being radiated a power that bent the air itself, its shadow stretching impossibly long across the crypt. The key in Joan's hand glimmered faintly as if eager to be claimed, while Ian's grip on Melanie's arm urged her toward a decision. Joan stepped forward first, defiant and resolute. "I will enter," she declared, lifting the key as if in challenge. "The heirloom will answer to me, not to the bloodline that squandered it." The Guardian's voice thundered, shaking the stones beneath their feet. "The pact was sealed in blood. Only the true heir may pass. False claimants shall be undone." No sooner had the words left its lips than the ground beneath Joan split open. A spectral hand shot upward, clawing at her ankles, dragging her down toward the earth. She shrieked, striking out with the key, and for a moment the spectral grip loosened, but the warning was clear. Her path was fraught with peril. Melanie, trembling, looked to Ian. "If I go in, I may never return." Ian's gaze locked with hers, fierce and unwavering. "Then I will follow you. Illusion can bend reality, but love can bind it. Together we can cheat fate itself." The Guardian tilted its massive head, as if measuring their resolve. Then the crypt's doors groaned wider, revealing a stairway spiraling into darkness. Cold air rushed out, carrying with it the scent of damp earth and something far older, the breath of forgotten centuries. Hand in hand, Melanie and Ian stepped forward. Joan, still clutching the key, followed with a venomous glare, unwilling to concede her claim. The Guardian's form dissolved into mist, reappearing at the threshold as their eternal judge. Inside, the crypt was no mere resting place of the dead. Its walls pulsed faintly with crimson veins, as though the stone itself were alive. Murmured voices whispered from the shadows, fragments of the pact sealed by Melanie's ancestors. Torches ignited on their own, casting wavering light upon carvings that told a grim tale. Sacrifice, betrayal, and a promise never fulfilled. At the base of the stair, they reached a vast chamber. In its center stood a pedestal of obsidian, upon which rested a silver casket, bound by chains that glowed with spectral fire. The heirloom. Joan gasped, her ambition blazing. At last. She rushed forward, the key ready in her hand. But as she approached, the chains rattled violently and the chamber trembled. A spectral figure emerged from the casket itself, an echo of Melanie's foremother, her eyes hollow, her hands bound in ghostly shackles. "Blood of my blood," the apparition intoned, her voice a mixture of sorrow and wrath. "You come seeking freedom, but freedom demands a price." Melanie staggered back, her breath catching. "What price?" The apparition's gaze fell upon Ian. "A soul must be exchanged, one to guard, one to walk free." The chamber fell silent, save for the rattling of chains and the furious pounding of Melanie's heart. Joan's smile twisted with triumph. "Then the choice is simple," she hissed. "Let the magician pay the price. His sacrifice will grant you everything." Ian stepped forward calmly, his expression unreadable. "If it is mine to give, then I will give it. For you." Melanie's voice broke as she reached for him. "No, I cannot." But before she could finish, the chamber quaked again, the heirloom's glow intensifying, as though demanding an answer. The decision loomed. Accept Ian's sacrifice and claim her freedom, or defy the pact and risk eternal bondage herself. And as the first light of dawn seeped faintly through the cracks above, the crypt demanded its choice. The crypt's silence was suffocating, broken only by the crackle of spectral fire along the chains. Melanie's breath came in shallow gasps as her foremother's ghostly figure loomed closer, her eyes like twin voids. "One must remain," the apparition repeated, her voice rippling through the chamber. "One must bear the chains so that the pact is sealed anew." Ewan's hand slipped from hers as he stepped forward. His face was calm, resolute. Yet behind his eyes, Melanie caught the faintest flicker of sorrow. "Then it is decided," he whispered. "Better me than you." "No!" Melanie cried, clutching his arm desperately. "You have given me everything. Courage, hope, love. I won't let you give me your life as well." Joan's laugh slithered through the darkness. How touching, yet pathetic. "Let him sacrifice himself, Melanie, and the heirloom will be yours. With it, you could command wealth, power, perhaps even freedom from this curse. Refuse, and all is lost." The apparition raised her bound hands, and the silver casket trembled. The chains unwound slightly, glowing hotter, as though feeding on Melanie's torment. The air thickened, heavy with the weight of choice, but Ian only smiled faintly. "You forget one thing, Joan." His eyes gleamed with quiet defiance. "Illusions are born from truth, but they also bend it." He turned to Melanie, whispering so low only she could hear. "Trust me. Do not fear what you see." Before she could answer, he strode to the pedestal, placing his palms upon the casket. Instantly, the chamber roared to life. Spectral winds swirling, torches flaring, the apparition's chains lashing wildly. Ian's body arched with the force, as though his very soul were being torn free. Melanie screamed, reaching for him, but the winds shoved her back. Joan's eyes glistened with triumph. Yes, yes, let it take him. But then the impossible happened. From Ian's chest burst a blinding radiance, not of surrender, but of defiance. The illusions he conjured had wrapped not around mortals, but around the very spirit of the pact itself. The apparition faltered, her hollow eyes widening as her chains bound not Ian, but a phantom of his own making. The guardian howled, its voice fractured in fury. "Deceiver! Trickster!" Ian collapsed to his knees, gasping but alive. The false image of his soul still writhed upon the casket, shackled in chains of fire. For a moment, the crypt itself seemed uncertain which reality to obey. Melanie seized her chance. With a cry of fury and love intertwined, she rushed forward, tearing the key from Joan's stunned hands. The silver casket flared open, the heirloom revealed at last, a pendant of obsidian and pearl, pulsing with eerie light. As her fingers closed around it, the chamber shuddered. The apparition's face twisted in both grief and relief. The pact is undone. The spectral chains dissolved. The wind ceased. Silence fell. Joan staggered backward, her triumph shattered, her face pale with rage. "This is not over," she hissed, before fleeing into the darkness beyond the crypt. Melanie fell to her knees beside Ian, cradling him in her arms. His breath was shallow, his strength nearly spent, yet his eyes flickered open, their warmth unbroken. "I told you," he whispered with a faint smile. "Illusion can bend even fate." She pressed her forehead to his, tears mingling with laughter. "You fool, my beautiful fool, you've saved me and doomed us both to a world forever changed." Above them, the first rays of dawn pierced the crypt through ancient cracks, falling upon the heirloom in her hands. Its glow dimmed, as though subdued, yet its power lingered, untamed, unresolved. For though the pact was broken, its shadow still clung to Melanie's bloodline. The guardian was gone, but in its absence something darker stirred, watching, waiting, patient as eternity. And as the light of day finally spilled over London, Melanie knew her story was far from over. Thank you so much for watching. This has been your narrator. If you want the story to continue, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, stay safe.